too slow or um
You don't think he looking good right now?
no, he looks great. I mean, they should be starting him. That's my like thing. Like they need to be starting him, man. He needs to be getting minutes on the best offensive player just to so he can learn. You know what I mean? He's already probably like second best defender or the third best player, and they need to utilize him. It's like they're kind of like hiding. Like I don't know why though. That's what I'm. But yeah, that shit crazy.
Yeah, he definitely not in the running to get the rookie of the year though. So
No, I mean he's in the. It's the crazy part is they limited his minutes, but he's in the top 10 of everything rookies. So he just got his first double tonight.
did they lose?
Yeah, he lost by 30.
All right, let's get it popping. Somebody
All right,
bullshit.
all right.
What up? 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 It's your boy T.
There's your man B.
Are you on the ride up?
Yes, sir.
Season 4, episode 9.
Episode 9, Olympic Jordan.
Olympic Jordan it is. Olympic Jordan it is. Episode 9, you know? So off rip, B Money want to talk about the Wizards, and we're gonna talk some Commanders and Sam Howell and Eric Bieniemy, yada yada yada. But I guess we can go ahead and start off with the Wizards because I don't want to talk about them too much because that's my squad. But
They stink.
yeah,
But they're
it's
deliberately
epic.
tanking. I
It's
think,
epic.
yeah, it's really bad. Like I don't know what. So I want to talk about like why are they trying to keep Bilal Koulibaly Koulibaly a
Butcher,
secret? Yeah, I'm
Butcher
killing
coming,
that name.
Butcher coming.
Killed that name. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
It's real.
Why are they keeping Bilal a secret? Like it don't make no sense. Like he should be starting. He should be getting 25 to 30 minutes a game. Like it makes it gives like they're going to lose regardless. They're not. I mean, they're not in like a him playing that much isn't going to hurt him none, and it's going to help him in the long run. And y'all not winning games. Y'all will get y'all's top three lottery. You know what I mean? Pick chance
So
because we
can I ask
know.
you a question? Did you go
Yeah,
into this season? Did you go into this season feeling like this team would be a bottom three team in the league, bro?
not that I go into it. I was concerned about the rebounding, but I thought they was going to win 30, 35. Like because I thought Jordan Poole would be playing better. Um, Cal
It's a fun.
Kuzma is doing, he playing his best ball. Like he's been playing his best ball since he's been here. So,
It's a
but
far
I
cry
thought,
from 2 years ago when you was like, "This is the
nah,
best roster. It's the best roster they had since like."
yeah, yeah, nah. They was 10-3, and Montrezl Harrell was anyway. They was 10-3. That shit was, man. I don't know, bro. And shout out to Brad and his back. Shout out to him. But hopefully he gets better. Like
Shade,
I want to see the
shade.
Suns. I want to see the Suns at 100%. But
Word. Me too. I want them to see him 100% lose because they ain't got no real winners on this for real.
I
Shout
mean
out
that's gonna
to my man.
yeah
Shout out to my man Book though.
yeah I mean we'll see what happens in the playoffs, the real playoffs. But yeah, man, nah, I'm just kind of like lost at the direction. Like it's just weird. Like, what are they doing? What is the? It's just the tank. There's no like. They're not trying to lay any type
Like,
of
yeah,
foundation. You know what I mean? It feels
can I
like
see some like some good development? Like, where's the development at? I want
that's what
some
I'm
development.
saying.
Like, all right, you taking cool. I still so that means I should still see Davis playing. This
Right.
dude is at this point, you know, and I, obviously when you say this, and I'm gonna say this the way I'm gonna say it, but obviously it's you got to keep it in perspective. But dude is ass, bruh. He's ass,
Yeah, they broke his jump shot. He's just
bruh.
I don't
If
know what
you
happened.
get if it's no excuse to have this many top 10 draft picks and they be ass, bro.
I mean, that's
Ass.
Tommy Shepard.
You had Rui Hashimura and people was all gassing him when he went to the Lakers. And he motherfucker been trying to block it.
Yeah, no.
Where's Troy Brown?
Uh I don't
Ass.
know. I don't know where he's at though. He's still in Chicago. I don't know.
In 4 years, will Corey Kispert be on a starting lineup anywhere?
No.
In
No.
four
Huh.
in 4 years.
Tommy Shepard was worse drafting than Ernie Grunfeld. And I didn't think you could do that. Like I didn't know. Like I thought it was
Wait a minute.
impossible.
I don't know if he was worse.
He
I
was
don't know if he
it's
was
going it's
worse.
well no, you know what, it's not he's not
And
worse
Kendrick
because he's
Spears.
drafting
Yeah,
guys that
Kendrick Spears, bro.
he's drafting guys that's actually going to play in the NBA, not whether their floors are high. Like these are NBA players. I'm not going to say like they're not starting anywhere. Like no, none of his draft picks are going to start anywhere, but they can play in the NBA. You're right. Ernie Grunfeld picked a lot of guys that could not play in the NBA. So yeah, no, actually, so he's the second worst.
Will Denny be will Denny be on a starting lineup in 4 years?
Then if he didn't, probably not. Probably not. I mean, but he's an NBA player. I would say he's got
Oh,
NBA
I'm
skill.
not. Yeah, I'm not saying they won't be in the league. I won't say that. They definitely will be in the league. They have, I think, something to offer. Like just being
Yeah,
a body. You know what I'm saying? They got to get contracts to somebody.
yeah. I
And I'm
mean,
not
I
saying
think they're just high floor guys. He just picked a bunch of high floor guys that there was no even with the Rui pick. Like if he picked Cam Reddish, I wouldn't have been mad. And Cam Reddish is not a good NBA player. You know why? Because it's the same uh philosophy that I had like when I heard and I started looking at Bilal. And it's like, okay, yeah, I'd pick him with the 8 pick. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta swing for the fences. You got the guys got to have some traits about him. You gotta have some wingspan. You gotta have let some lateral movement about you. You know what I mean? Like, there's like give me some type of translatable skill and physical attribute to be an NBA player and excel. There's measurables to that. You know what I mean? And it was like they didn't even they didn't give a shit about none of that. Like drafting Tommy Shepard didn't care at all. You know what I mean? Danny Uija, Rui. What's Rui's position? I know it's more positionless basketball, in 2023. But like, what's his position? Like for real? Like, what is Denny really good at? Like, I mean, he's a good, decent defender, but like I don't know, man. Like, there's no rhyme or reason to who he's picking. There's no philosophy. It was just throwing darts at a board, and he got a lot of, like I said, he got a lot of high floor guys. They're gonna be somebody's in the bench guy for about 10 years. They can do that. That's cool, but they're not winning
I
with
read a
none of them.
stat the other day that said
Mm-hmm.
that I guess like half of the first round draft picks this year
Mm-hmm.
are in the G League, have
Oh
spent
wow.
time in the G League, and it's like
Hmm. I mean, that might be a good and might be a bad thing. I don't know. I don't. I had to like. It depends on the guy. Like, you know what I mean? It depends on the player and what they're doing. But that's interesting. I didn't know that. Is any I can't see any of the lottery picks doing being in the G League though. Like the Thompson twins,
the guy
Wemby
who I wanted to
definitely not.
draft, the guy who I wanted to draft is in the G League right now,
Who
and
was
that's
that?
Cam Whitmore.
Oh, Whitmore's in the
Yeah.
wow. I like Whitmore. I like Whitmore. But that's interesting because he kind of balled out in preseason. I seen him, I've been kind of keeping track, but he was doing all right. That's interesting. That's interesting. But I don't know, man. I'm just concerned. And it's early. It's they haven't they there's another shooter drop, of course, because there was no rebounding on his team, and it's obvious. Like that's the obvious thing. There's no center behind Daniel Gafford. They're playing fucking Danilo
That's
Gallinari, and
that's
he's not a
because
he can't
these
move.
general managers don't know how to put together no fucking roster. Listen, it's
You know,
okay.
I don't think they.
Get you a big. Fuck all that. Get you a big, yo. Go get a legitimate big. Every
Yeah, I
big don't
just
have to be a fucking 3-point shooter. Look at the Warriors. The Warriors had Moody. Moody is not a shooter. Moody don't even take shots. What he do is fucking job.
yeah. My thing is like, why? Like, at least fill out the roster. Like, I get you're tanking. Like, I guess it doesn't matter. Like, you're shooting year three. That's when you want to fucking be, in some type of whatever you're trying to do, contention or whatever. Um, so this doesn't matter at all. I guess I don't know what the it but I don't think I just don't agree with that. You know what I mean? I don't agree with it doesn't matter at all. There's got to be some type of what I mean, like some type of baseline that you're setting, and it doesn't look like it. But I'm a hold out reserve judgment. They Will Dawkins. It looks like he's got an A on his first pick. You know what I mean? Bilal's looks like he's gonna be a player.
Ain't no fucking A, Brian.
I think he's an A, bro.
A
I
A
think he's
would
an
be
A.
if you are an A, you'd be performing now. By this time, you should be like, okay, he on his way.
Bruh, they're limiting his minutes on purpose. Like this is
Hey,
not like it's not like oh he can't get on the court because he can't play. He's already the second best defender. So that's not about him not play. Just got a double. Like I think that's the second
yeah.
time I said that.
And
But
you said they lost by how much? Did I?
by 30. But that's not it's not that again, like this is an incomplete roster. So I don't like if you get out rebounded by 15, like how do you win the game like that? There's no that their point guard is who? Like, you know what I mean? Are you giving the ball to Jordan Poole or you're not? Like what is going on? Like I don't
I
know what
I
the
don't.
philosophy is.
I get you saying. I get what you're saying, but I don't agree with your grading because this team is not a defensive team. So to say he's the second or third best defender on this team isn't saying much.
I mean, shit, yeah, no, I mean that's fine, but he's 19 years old and defense you come along slow on defense. Like so in the NBA, it's not the transition of that is different, especially if you're coming from Europe.
So I
So
I give them a C plus.
okay, that's cool. I don't I gotta give him an A because this if you I'm projecting. I'm
But
saying if this is his floor, how creative he's been with the ball, how he's shooting a 3-pointer already, like I'm projecting. I think this kid is a good, you know what I mean, and he's gonna get they might have a gem.
I
They
respect
might have
no
a
no no.
gem.
But see, that's what I'm saying. I respect everything you're saying. I just don't think the things you're saying equates to an A, is what I'm saying.
I know, I hear you. I hear
Because
you. I hear
because
you.
you're saying
I'm not mad at it.
the third best defender, second, third best defender on a team. So who's a better defender than him?
Danny,
Like
right now,
Denny,
Danny. Yeah.
a guy who you agree wouldn't be a starter in 4 years.
Yeah, I mean
Right?
that's his only skill
And
to me. He's a
and
decent defender.
he has talent. He has you see the potential upside. That's all great. And I'm not saying it to knock Bilal to say, oh, it's a bad draft pick. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I can't give you an A if you draft somebody and they don't have uh impact by now. Like I feel like a A is impact now. Like
Hmm.
like if I think about A draft picks, John Wall clearly he was the number one overall pick, but by this time John Wall had a triple double. John Wall he was starting. He was he was getting buckets. Like A's come out the gate. LeBron James is an A. So I'm not going to give LeBron
Uh,
James
okay,
25 and 5 an A and then say this is an A. You know what I'm saying?
okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's
So
fair.
but I will say, though I don't give the A for him this year, I can definitely say I look forward to grading him next year. I think that based on the things you said that I agree on, if they do their job in developing this young roster, like I think that it like the it's a fine line to draft to have all these young guys and you're building a team in your image because you are taking over now, even though you inherited the coach.
Yeah.
And I don't think this coach has shown anything since with the Wizards or even when he was with Denver that he has a talent for developing uh players. Like they were a defensive team, but when he was there, they didn't win anything. So like they went to the playoffs, but he coached a team. He was on a bench that had Jokic, right?
All right, you're right. Yeah.
I'm like, I get why we hired him. And we're not gonna get into the once unsailed da 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 because we all know that he he won't be there long. You know, obviously because they're probably tanking, they're gonna let him ride out this.
Right.
Uh, and I hope that when it's time to go and get a good coach, they go and do it and don't think he's the one. But and I hope they don't wait too long. Like if they know they got if they looking like they're going to get the first, second, or even the third pick, he should be out the door, and they should get a quality head coach by any.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, the Wizards need to get a quality head coach by any means necessary.
Right.
That
No, I
means
agree.
that means Ted, you're going to have to spend some money.
Right.
Like you don't have a set veteran roster that's competing right now. So the top guys aren't coming to you for cheap. You have to spend the money.
Right.
That's what it's going to take. But and you know I'm upset with the Wizards. I thought they were going to be better. I thought that they were going to look like a team that would be fun to watch, and I could, you know what I'm saying, I could be proud to take my son to go watch them. Now
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, there's not one game where I'm comfortable. Like obviously you want to take your son to their first game and it's a win, right?
Right.
I don't know. I look at the schedule based on what they've done. I don't know who to say,
Nah,
right?
they're they beat the Pistons. I'm not even understanding what the Pistons are doing, but like that's for another show. They beat the
So
Pistons. I think that's their last win. So I
they're
mean,
like
if they
three
come
and
out,
sixteen.
yeah,
They're like three and
it's
16.
terrible.
This
It's
this
terrible.
team is this team is worse than the Jordan Crawford team.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Because there's no like again, there's no big. I think that at least that Crawford team had Andre Blatch, who
Yeah,
who had talent
Boogie
as
and
a
Ray.
big. Yeah, yeah,
All
yeah.
right, let's switch gears. Let's switch gears. Let's go from one suffering suffering Washington franchise to the other.
Yeah.
The Commanders.
So I mean,
High
we're
hopes
about
early.
5 weeks away from you know we're taking the shotgun and the dog out back. On the Ron Rivera era, and I'm on Twitter. I'm on Twitter. If y'all, it's the same name, Fresh X Design. I'm in
Yeah.
the commanding spaces. I'm in the not the spaces, not the talking shit, but community. I'm in the communities of the commanders and the fans and the Wizards fans. And we're just with the commanders, we're talking about whether or not this top three, four, five pick, how it should be spent. And if you want to get a quarterback.
No.
And I'm on that side. I'm on the no side, and it's not just because of Sam Howell and how he's played. which he's been up and down, honestly. But the um, I'm on the. I don't know if I believe in. I don't think they're going to be in Caleb. Caleb Williams is not there. He's going to be gone. Do I believe in Jayden Daniels over knowing a guy? I know I have a guy that can play in the NFL. I have a guy that at least his floor is he can play. He's a QB1. You know what I mean?
So
He's a
so
QB1.
I want to make sure I got this right. You're not you're opposed to drafting a quarterback not because there's other pressing needs, but because you don't think that they are going to be able to come in and get the job done? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I mean, bro, that's one thing. Like are you're about yeah. There's like, do you believe in that guy at 4? Like, do I believe him? Like, is any of the guys you'll be able to pick at 4 better than that offensive tackle Olu? Better than Alt? Better than Marvin Harrison if he drops to 4? Better than
What position does Marvin Harrison play?
he's a wide receiver.
Do the Commanders need a wide receiver?
They need elite talent. They need elite players. They need game breakers, game changers. They don't. It
Man,
doesn't
listen,
matter where. It doesn't matter where
man,
you pick
listen.
them at. What position? That's why I'm saying I don't care if it was a quarterback. If there was a game
I
breaker
do.
quarterback, I don't have that. I don't have that issue. Like that's saying that
I care.
you're drafting for need. You don't draft for need, and that's what the
No, no,
problem
no,
is.
no,
That's been
no, no, no,
over the
no.
last 4 years.
But they haven't been drafting for need. They haven't been drafted for need. If they were drafting for need, they wouldn't have drafted a fucking cornerback in the first round last year. That's not drafted for need. When it was
They
split,
did
it
need
was
a corner. They did need a corner though. They did need a corner. The safety in the
no.
second round, I
They
can give you
needed
that.
needed the offensive line is terrible. The offensive
Yeah,
line has
that's
been
a fact.
terrible, and they should
That's
have
a
been
fact.
drafting offensive linemen either when Trent was there or the second Trent went out the door. That next year, the first pick should have been an offensive lineman. Like the offensive line should be what they go for. Now, they'll probably finish between third and fifth or sixth, somewhere around there. And
It's
either
probably third.
the kid JC from Alabama or Olu from Penn State. I think it's Penn State he plays for.
Yeah, Penn State
Uh uh
hasn't given
one
up a
of
sack.
those one of those guys should be in Burgundy and Gold next year.
I
Listen,
I,
I am so
I agree. I'm not
done.
saying
I am
because
so done.
that's an elite talent. They're elite talents though. It's
I
not
am
just get a
listen,
offensive
not just
lineman just to
listen.
get them though.
I
You know
am
what I mean?
so done with watching our crap line. It's pointless to get a quarterback if you can't block for him. It's pointless to have a good running back if you can't open holes for him. And if you can run the ball, you can help the defense by getting them rest and keeping them out of shitty situations.
Bruh, they're not even like EB's offense isn't to pass, isn't to run the ball.
He
It's
won't
not
be
because
there
they
next
can't
year
run the
anyway.
ball.
He
Yeah,
won't
I
be
know
there
that.
next
I
year.
know that.
Good,
I know that. I know that.
so here's the thing. This is uh, draft. Listen. If I'm there, bro, I'm drafting line with the first and the second pick.
I mean, I don't know if you
Like
can. I don't know if you can go wrong. That's why there's two things that I feel like you don't want to miss on this draft pick. Like you can't miss. Like you cannot miss. And unfortunately, quarterbacks when you pick in that top 5 miss way more than than they hit. Like, and it's like if you don't get the certified blue chipper, who is to me is I guess Caleb Williams. I'm not really. I don't believe in him. Like I don't believe him for real. I maybe I need to watch more. I don't know. Like he runs around and has 50 seconds to fucking throw the ball and pick guys. Like is
you,
and he has A1
exactly.
receivers.
You,
I don't believe it.
you give me
But
a
I might be that
you,
might be a hot take for some people.
you give me a line that can give a quarterback more than 3 seconds to throw the ball, and a coach that understands how to game plan around the talent of his quarterback, and Sam Howell will be a solid. He can be your guy. And the thing about it is he's not even gonna cost you too much. So you can build around your team while not spending a fortune on your quarterback. You already have 2 running backs that are capable of being 1,000-yard backs. The problem is in the NFL, because they're so pressed to devalue the running back position that they're not giving these running backs a bulk of carries. It's hurting the fucking teams. A lot of the teams that are suffering don't have good, consistent running back play. Brian Robinson is good enough to carry the ball 20 to 25 times a game. Gibson, if he didn't fumble, would be good enough to carry the ball or touch the ball. Gibson can touch the ball. It don't have to be runs. You can just get the ball to Gibson 20 to 25 times a game. You can be good with those guys. But every week it's 10 carries for him, 15 carries for him. Yo, you're not the Kansas City Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes getting the ball to Travis Kelce to bail you out. The 49ers will probably be in the Super Bowl this year. Right now, they're looking like the odds-on favorite to go to the Super Bowl in the NFC. They have a running back who's going to touch that ball at least 20 times a game. The Cowboys. Yeah, listen. Yeah, we are pro Commanders because that's our squad, but we keep it 100. They are dangerous. They play good defense. They have a competent quarterback, and they have a running back who has the bulk of the carries. Listen. So on Thanksgiving, we watched them smoke us, and I wasn't trying to be facetious, or I wasn't trying to embarrass or put anybody out there. I was asking a legit question to prove a legit point. I asked a Cowboys fan, "Who's your backup running back?" And in the moment, he didn't know it. To say, "Oh, you a Cowboys fan and don't know your team." No, my point was, Pollard is your running back.
Mm-hmm.
When they start taking carries from Ezekiel Elliott and giving it to Pollard, because Pollard was better, you knew his name. Stop taking these carries away from legit quality running backs because you don't want to pay them. It's dumb.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It's not helping your franchise.
I agree. I think I think it's gone way to the other side. It's way too far. I think you do like they're not helping Sam by not running the ball. Like I hear to a certain degree, he's learning how to read defenses faster because he's throwing the ball so much. But one thing, first off, you're getting him hit like at an insane rate. Two, like you're just they're playing it soft. They're playing soft. They're playing everything underneath of them. So you have all this space. You can run the ball. Like why aren't we taking advantage of that stuff?
I'm
like
hearing that's why Leno has a problem. So obviously, I don't know if you heard that there's apparently 2 players on the offense who have issues with and wouldn't endorse Eric Bieniemy taking over. One being
I heard Terry was like
Terry McLaurin, but and apparently that's been since preseason.
Right. Okay.
And the other one is Leno.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Yeah, but okay.
And so I heard Leno, and I didn't hear why. But then in another piece, I hear that the offensive line
wants to run the ball.
Has issues because they're not running the ball. And it's like, yo, if you want, like, obviously they want to be able to protect the quarterback. But they're not blind, and they know that they're not doing it. One way to keep your quarterback from getting sacked is running the ball. Hand it off to your running back.
Right. Because, like, at the end of the day, your play action has no teeth. It don't have no teeth. Like it
And it's
does.
been
I
that way
mean,
since the beginning of the season.
if it's not a legit threat, then why no one's respecting it? Even if it does freeze a linebacker for it, probably you could probably freeze a linebacker for a second instead of the quarter second. Then I mean, oh, they're not going to run for real. Why am I respecting that this little handoff, this fake handoff? It's just I don't know. I'm not impressed. By they're not the receivers aren't even getting open. But I know for a fact that Terry McLaurin was getting open last year. They were scheming him open. Where's like what is like how do you not get the ball into your best player's hand?
Hmm.
Like like that doesn't make sense to me. There's too
So
many there's too many donuts. That's not that, and I don't think that's all because Terry McLaurin just forgot to
not
play
just
football.
him, Dotson too. Like
Yeah, Dawson also.
it's no way
Yeah.
we're not seeing production out of Terry and Dotson. We
Mm,
went to the season saying they were a top 10 tandem going into the season.
right. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And shout out to Curtis Samuel who's made the most of his opportunities. But it's like and people underrated him and since that first year we was hurt. But like yeah, man, like it's just crazy that you don't get the ball into the people's hands that can make plays. Like let's see them make plays. Like and it's crazy that they're getting so much production out of Sam as far as yardage, raw yardage. People gonna talk about the deep analytics. I mean, I get it. And like I said, like I'm not here to shit on that, but also like let's all just take a step back and just like a lot of that stuff you gotta watch the game. Like you gotta watch. I've been watching. Like that's the thing. I've been watching the game, so it's like, dog. A lot of this stuff isn't in Sam's hands to a certain degree. Like we're not doing him no favors. Everything is very predictable. There's no preset snap motion. We're not scheming our best players open on either side, the X or the Y. Um, it's just there's no misdirection. There's no hiding anything. And then we're
Basic.
not running the ball, and we're not running the ball.
It's
Why is D
basic as
Rob?
fuck.
Why you have a hammer pause and he's not getting
That was
10?
crazy. That was
That's
crazy.
his pause. This pause. That's that pause. That's that pause. Why do you have this? Why do you have a workhorse and he's getting balls, bro? Like, why you have this kid that can run the ball 20, like you said, 25 times, even if you don't run them 25 times? I'm not saying that that's a modern offense. Okay, run them 17 times. It works. He's every time he's gotten 15 carries, they've looked like a better fucking offense.
So one of
It's
the
at
things
least when if they're in the game, because like come on, bro, like y'all the defense have not have done them any favors either. There's no turnovers. Like short fields help offenses. Like let's get some. Like that don't make like I don't know, bro. It's just all
so
the
one
way
of the
down.
things we haven't talked about or happened since episode 8 is that after Thanksgiving's loss, Jack Del Rio got fired.
Mac and Jack.
I knew you was gonna say that. And I was like, my thing is this. Why fire Jack Del Rio? Why?
I think it was just to give the fans a little like
Give him what?
the fans were like
Be-
they're
and this is my
this was
issue
like
with it. This is my issue with firing Jack Del Rio. If we
I
had
didn't care if they wanted it or not. I'm not.
if we had an offensive minded head coach, then I can understand firing Jack Del Rio. But the fact that we have a defensive minded head coach, I feel like, well, you should have intervened if there's an issue. You should have
Right.
intervened prior to
Yeah, I
this.
agree. I agree.
And I should have felt your presence pause. But I didn't. So I feel like you go into this season like, all right, it's make or break. It's
Hmm.
breaking. Why not just fire them both and pass the put Eric Bieniemy at the helm And because and listen, I get it. I understand you got Terry who has issues with him or whatever the case may be, and yada yada yada. But it's a 53-man roster, and every player isn't gonna get along with the coach. But you need to evaluate them. So to me, it's telling me that it's like it was a pointless firing. If you're going to fire everybody at the end of the year anyway, what's
Oh
the
yeah, it was
point?
pointless. It was pointless.
What's
No,
the point?
I
Like
yeah,
you didn't make me
I
feel the
agree.
type of way by doing that.
No, it wasn't. It just I don't know what it was. Honestly, they should have just carried like he should have evaluated this staff and said, I think what happened is he couldn't fire both Scott Turner and Jack this offseason just for because of where we were with the sale and whatever. You know what I mean? So he picked one. And even with that, like Eric Bieniemy couldn't like really fill out a staff. You know, he only hired like three guys. He had to promote his assistant, the assistant, not even his assistant, because he didn't uh um he didn't hire the offensive line coach that resigned, and he didn't hire Travell Wharton. So like it's like, you know, working with one arm tied behind your back. Like he's it's and then when they you know, Chris Harris left and you didn't replace him for real. You replaced him with a Jack DeRio flunky. So and he was on his way out with him. So like I think he had to choose one and he chose, and it didn't like he gambled with house money and he just came out, it was on zero, bro. You know what I mean? And sorry to say, I thought it was like, yo, you gotta go into this season like if you're Ron Rivera, like just you gotta like put it all out there. You know what I mean? Like you can't let you if you thought why didn't you saw this defense for 6 weeks? You didn't say or do anything. You're a defensive coordinator at heart, aren't you? Or linebacker. Why haven't you where is the changes? Like the last 3 years, you saw a change at least at like week 5, week 6, you know what I mean? And it changed how the defense looked. Like between moving Landon to the Buffalo nickel, more zone. I think that was year 2 or something like that. They've changed some things in it, and it coincided with them playing worse quarterbacks also those
What are
years.
they
But like,
what are they practicing? Like what's the point of practice?
what is
And I'm not saying it like obviously you gotta practice to but I was like what are you scheming against in practicing? Like I feel like the defense took a step back this year because I think maybe Scott Turner was doing quality work in practice to give the defense looks to prepare for that Eric isn't giving them. So therefore, because you're not practicing a certain type of style. Because the way Eric's calling the plays, nobody's playing like that. So you practicing against something that's easily. So obviously, like I can go in with this false confidence, like yeah, we're gonna be good. We shutting all down the offense, but the
but the
offense is
crazy
ass.
But the crazy part is, during training camp, I listened to everybody. Listen to Craig Hoffman, listen to Ben Standig, listen to John Kahn, right? All those podcasts. They were talking about pre-snap motion. They talking about they get 90 plays in. They get more plays in than anybody, any
Where?
preseason that ever that, you know, the guys have been watching. There's paces like this, quick snap, 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 snap. There's all this misdirection. We haven't seen jack shit of none of that. Like none of it's happened. It's it's
So
crazy.
why?
Even it was to the point where on week 1 when they beat the Cardinals 20-16, after the game was like, oh, what, like they were commenting on the offense looked vanilla. And maybe because it was the Cardinals, they didn't pull out, all the, the whole playbook. This is their whole playbook. We're seeing their whole playbook, and it's nothing. There's
It's
nothing to it.
ass.
So like, I don't know. I want to know what happened. I keep asking, what happened to this innovation, this pre-snap stuff that they saw in training camp is not there. What happened to it? And are they, to your point, are they practicing it anymore? Like, what's happening? Like, it's like this thing failed from the gate, bro. The
Bro, we
wheels
got
came
swept by
off
the they got
early,
swept by the Giants, bro.
twice. And that's the other thing. Like, you let the if you,
The
to me,
Bears.
not even. Let's go back to the Giants. Let's just go back to the Giants. Say the defensive coordinator beat you, right? If you're Eric Bieniemy, what did you learn, and why'd you get spanked again? Like, how do you let that
How do you
happen?
turn the ball over like that?
As a competitor, how do you let that happen, bro? Like, that doesn't even make fucking sense. Like, you didn't put your team in the best position the first time. Okay, cool. Y'all got us. Y'all, you know what I mean? But this is what we about to do now. Y'all didn't do shit. Y'all did the
It,
same shit.
you know what sucks, Brian, is that we we champion, you know, coaches of color getting opportunities.
Oh yeah, for
And I'm
sure.
and I'm happy he got this opportunity, but it's like,
Honestly, you know what, bro? I said this on Twitter, and actually I actually just like believe it. He'd be if he got he was week one of the offseason hired as a head coach. I think he'd be a better head coach than he is an offensive coordinator, calling plays and designing offense. Like, if he had a guy that he would hire a guy, I think he that would be great at doing that. You know what I mean? And then he'd have a voice. His whole structure would be like geared towards actually, putting in work and winning.
yeah,
I think
I
he'd
agree with
be a
that.
better head coach than an offensive coordinator. But I mean, this is how the cards laid out for him. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Like, he had to pull a miracle out, and it just didn't work. And I think maybe he's keeping it basic because he thinks the offensive line can't do it. Like, I don't know
Do
what
you
the
do
problems
you
is.
think do you think Ron has deliberately put him out there
To a certain extent, yeah.
and not like reeled back anything or put in anything or said anything
I
to
think
sort of like put him in put him in his place or something like that?
I don't think they're even having real conversations, honestly. I think I think Ron's checked out. Like, I just there's a John Kime, Jason Fowler ESPN article that, like, he had a whole mantra of, like, he said be prepared. I forget the mantra is now. I ain't gonna look it up, but he stopped using it. He stopped using the mantra. Like, so, like, I think he's checked out. I think we didn't. I mean, like, he delegated everything to Jack and Eric. He did not, what I mean, participate in the way that you probably should as a head coach. You know what I mean? So, it to the detriment of Eric Bieniemy and, to be fair, Jack. So that's where we're at, man. And it's 4-9. It's 4-9, right? 4-9,
Who who
four
would
and eight.
you is there anybody out there right now that you would like to see man in the sideline next year?
I mean, people are saying
Or would you like to
I
see
don't have
Eric man in the sideline with an offensive coordinator that can call the plays as you were suggesting?
honestly, I wouldn't be mad at it, but no, honestly, I think that just got to start over. I just need to clean the house. Need to clean the whole house. You know what I mean? So, like, I appreciate your time, Eric, EB, bro. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want to shit on him, like, but, like, we gotta move into a different direction generally. You know what I mean? So, and I hope he does get, like, they rumored the Chicago Bears was looking at him as a head coach. I hope he gets that jump. And I bet he get that shit right. to a certain degree. I don't think like he'd be able to really fill out his staff the way he wanted to if he really wanted to. I think he'd be in a way better position here. I just think I think I'm not going to say speak of us or I think the fans to a certain extent, but I'll speak for myself. I underestimated the short staff, you know what I mean, like them going into this year with a short staff, them having to put in a year one offense, and also I think and even on even I'm extending that to defense too. Like they lost their they lost homeboy. They didn't Chris Harris, the secondary coach. They lost Sam Mills the year before. They didn't really replace him. Like they promoted the guy and then they brought in Kerrigan, who was a first year not head coach, first year position coach last year. Like that's not replacing a guy. You know what I mean? That's it's just and we know I have my theory is that they were cash strapped. Snyder had been funneling money, siphoning money off of this team for 20 years. We talked about when Bruce Allen, oh, Bruce Allen doesn't do the flashy free agency no more. They're not doing it no more. No, because they couldn't. They couldn't. They got Deshaun Djax one year. They could do one guy a year. That's why you saw these extensions. John Allen got the big extension. What the fuck else they do? Nothing. They got Deron Payne. What else did they do for real? Not really nothing. Like they got Curtis Samuel, they got Will Jackson, but those weren't huge signings. There's big money in the Will Jackson deal, but it wasn't. These weren't blockbusters, and or they weren't like moving cash around so they could add talent. That's you got to have cash to circumvent the cap. I keep saying this. People don't people like kind of like try to dismiss it. And to their credit, they are right. Ron didn't do enough with what he got. He didn't have the full assortment of a team that could do shit like the Saints doing, like the Eagles do, like the Rams did. But he didn't do enough with the picks that he had and the money that he could use. You know what I mean? So I get why people are like just dismissing it out of hand, but I can't. That is part of the problem. Dan Snyder checked out, siphoned money for his yacht and his McLean fucking mansion, and has been doing that for 14 years. When's the, you know what I mean? Like that after Albert Hainsworth, he said, "Fuck it." I'm looking at it like that. Like who? Like you know what I mean? Like he said, "Nah, I'm good. I'm good." Like he had like since Mike Shanahan left, you didn't see none of that, and there was a reason for that. But I mean, Josh, hopefully, what we'll see, in January, we see a total clean out. I want to see a GM first. I don't want to really even think about a head coach.
I
I want to see
I,
a
I want
GM, a
I want
EVP.
us I want us to move on to some fun stuff. But
Okay.
before we go, I want to say one thing about the Commanders, and it's not even about the Commanders. It's about Commanders fans. I don't understand how stupid some of our fans can be because they keep mentioning Magic Johnson.
Oh,
Magic don't like this and that. So fucking what? He has no fucking power.
yeah, nah.
Magic the Magic is not wielding any power in Washington. Can y'all please shut the fuck up about what Magic ain't going to stand for? That means only thing that means he gonna sell his stake in the team. That's it. Shut the fuck up. I
Yeah,
love
that's so
Magic,
crazy.
but he a show pony at this point. Hey, hey, but listen, I want to talk about something else before we get out of here, man. I gotta talk about two things. Two. First, last week Netflix new series. I think it's a limited series. I'm not sure. Some shows be limited, but they still have season two.
Hmm.
Obliterated.
Hmm.
Obliterated. Man, I binged that shit fast as I don't know what, man. I went straight through that show. And everybody, I've been telling them like, yo, go watch Obliterated. That's on fire. It's gonna take you back to the. I mean, it got that element of like late '80s, early '90s action flick, but it's a
Mm-hmm.
TV show. It's
Mm-hmm.
fun. It's like the the person that wrote this show. It's like a big die-hard cliffhanger type of fan,
Mm-hmm.
and I loved every minute of it. I like the casting was good. You know, they had good plot twists and some craziness. They went for the gusto on a couple of things. I'm not gonna give no spoil. We really don't do spoilers on here, so I'm not gonna do spoilers. I
Yeah, I'm not
will say
finished watching. I started it, but I haven't finished.
the only thing I will warn everybody is there is male frontal nudity. Male frontal
There's
nudity.
a lot. There's a lot of male frontal nudity.
Male frontal nudity. So
Wow, it's wild, and some rear male nudity too.
if you if you watching this and act like you don't and act like you don't watch porn and get all freaked out because it's a movie, it's a TV show
Nah,
or
I
something.
don't.
I'm just saying.
Nah,
I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying, y'all. Just giving you a heads up.
yeah,
It it
there's
it
male
it, it,
nudity.
it, it exists, all right. But it's a good show, man. It's fun.
It did
It's like
also remind. It reminded me of like the gratuitous. There's a lot of gratuitous nudity for no reason. Just like the
that's
'90s
perfect.
'90s action
That's
movies.
that's what's missing. Listen, I'm sorry. 80s baby. That's what's missing from action films. There should be
It-
bring sex scenes back to action movies.
yeah, it's for sure. It's for sure
Bring
a
sex
return
scenes
to that.
back, yo.
That was a wild. Like the first episode is a wild. It's a wild. That's a
Oh
long
yeah.
section. That's a wild long section. Any pause. I don't know. It's cool. Like I want to finish watching. I like don't you don't have to we don't have to get into like it's cool. Like it's cool. I was pleasantly surprised about the tone of it. I was like, oh shit, okay, I can get with this. I can get with this. And 90 is like come out as Tango and Cash, like yeah, like like
Yeah.
Fast Action
The
Hero.
early 90s, baby.
Yeah, like you know,
All
shit,
right.
yeah.
Second show. The second show I'm putting people on is Blue Eye Samurai. It's animation, but it's
Mm-hmm.
good. This
Mm-hmm.
this this one's good.
That's
Uh
okay.
say what?
That's what's up. I haven't caught it. I
It's
know. I mean, you put that in the group chat, but I haven't watched it.
it's man, listen, Blue Eye Samurai, it's a good one. Uh Basically it's a story about uh a girl who was fathered by uh some British white dudes and so she's a half born and she has blue eyes. So
Hmm.
they call her a monster. And they was like,
Oh wow.
her mom wanted to hide her because if they found her, they would kill her.
Mm-hmm.
Uh so she lives her life as a boy and she learns obviously how to fight because she wants revenge because burned her moms they burned her moms up in the house. They tried to kill them both,
Oh wow.
but she escaped,
Hmm.
and so she wanted revenge. So she's coming for revenge, and it's like it's like if Kill Bill was animation, but without Quentin Tarantino's, you know what I'm saying, his like weird ways in cinema, which is not a bad thing. It's just minus that part. Like it's dialogue, it's good dialogue, but listen, Shawty is ruthless and she's straight badass, and it's dope, man. And it's yeah, I watched the whole season. I just finished the season up, so those two shows, Obliterated and Blue Eye Samurai. Now since it's holidays, I'm going to watch Candy Candy Cane Lane tonight. That's what I'm going to watch. Candy Cane Lane tonight.
Okay. What's that? It's on Netflix.
That was on Amazon, I think. It's an Amazon
Okay.
Prime one.
Oh,
With
shout out
Eddie
to
Eddie Murphy.
Vox Machina is coming back. So I'm looking forward to it. But
Well, we're going
I'm
season 4? No,
yeah,
it'd be
in
season 3.
January.
Be
In
season
January.
3.
Yeah, season 3 in January.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I'm gonna
And
lock in with Blue Eye Samurai though too. So
Invincible is in season 2 now.
yeah, it's in a break. But the first 4 episodes was crazy. You know what I mean? So they still doing it. It's A1 content, bro. Like
Yeah.
Invincible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Invincible is that shit, bro. And shout out to
Yeah.
Rob Kirkman. Dope, 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 dope show. Yeah,
Yeah.
so for sure.
What else you got for the people tonight, Brian?
Not much, man. Just stay up, be safe out there. They going crazy in the city, but
Yeah, man.
hopefully, everybody stay safe, man. That's all I got.
Yeah, I know we told y'all last time we was gonna try to do a better job of being consistently and doing this. So we still gotta hold ourselves to it. You know what I'm saying? We gotta hold ourselves to it. But I I promise y'all won't have to wait as long for episode 10. But just like the gap between 8 and 9, we got we I got you some content. We're gonna get you some more content, if until we can have it knocked out. If I gotta rock it by myself when my man B, what I'm saying, handling this biz. But yeah, man, we got Brian was supposed to be lining up a episode with the Wizards Believe podcast, Matt Moderno. So we're waiting for him to tie the loose ends on that one so we can make that happen for y'all. But we appreciate y'all. Looking forward to episode 10. You've been on the ride up. One.